So I was 7 years old with a dream. I sat there one afternoon in the fall, watching football with my grandmother. Her favorite team was the Washington Redskins, so all she rooted for was the Washington Redskins. So, yeah, boo, yeah, boo. You got that right. So we sitting there watching the Redskins game, and I'm thinking to myself, that's what I want to do. So I asked my grandma, what do I have to do to get there? She said, you know what, you gotta work hard, you gotta believe in yourself, and when you play it to the best of your ability. You give it everything you got. As I got older, I was able to relate to what she was saying. Sacrifice, put in the time, put in the work, make good decisions, make good judgment, pick and choose your friends wisely. Get to high school. Played football for Ferguson High School, Warwick High School. My sophomore year, the school closed down. We had to go to a different high school. I went there. I was a stellar player, played well. Started getting letters my junior year from Clemson, Georgia Tech, Alabama, teams all across the country. And I was excited about that because it was something that I worked for. So everything that my mom and my grandmother had told me in my life, I applied it to my day-to-day life, and it put me in a position where I was able to go off to college. Things are going well, making good decisions every day, doing all the right things, going to class, staying away from all the trouble, all the drama on campus, doing all the right things, making the right decisions, making every decision count. So I get an opportunity to play college football. I played great. Freshman year I started. I go 11-0. Something that I never even thought I could do. So something came out of me that I didn't even know I had. That was the ability to play football on a mental level, not only on the physical level. But I challenged myself. I worked at it. My coaches told me you got to work hard every day. You know, you got to put in the time. You got to put in the effort. I did it. Put me in a position where I was able to be drafted #1. Now, I never thought that would happen. It was something that I dreamed about, but didn't really believe it was going to happen. But it did. So I give credit to God for making it happen. What I realized was that he had my back each and every day. You know, he put people in my life, my high school coach, my coaches in college, my mom, my grandmother, my father. He put those people in my life for a reason, to build knowledge and character every day, to put me into a position where I can make it count. So I get drafted, I go to Atlanta. You know, I start for 5 years. We go to the playoffs 1 year, first quarterback ever to beat Green Bay in the playoff game. First African-American quarterback drafted. Did some great things. Once again, having another stellar career. Things are looking good. Nothing's going wrong. Everything is on the even plane. Everything is all good. You know, I'm having the time of my life. I signed a contract at $100 million. Well, really it wasn't $100 million, but I won't say it and go through the contract. It was a lot of money. Probably more than I needed. So, you know, here I am. I'm on a totally different playing field now. Highest paid quarterback in the game, a lot of money. You know, got friends around me, people who I think care about me, people who I think love me. But guys who wasn't telling me how to do things the right way. Decisions that I was making in my life at the time, they wasn't telling me those are not the right decisions. The decisions I was making at the time, I won't make them count. Everything that my mom and my dad, my grandmother, my high school coach, my collegiate coach, everything they ever told me went out the window. I was a totally different guy. Still humble. You know, I would speak to each and every one of you if y'all walk past me on the street. But still, at the end of the day, I would come home to Virginia and get involved in things that I wasn't supposed to be involved in. Now, everybody know what happened. Everybody know that I spent a couple years of my life in prison. That's because I didn't make every decision, the right decisions every day, and didn't make them count. I didn't do it. It landed me in a place where I never thought I would be. So everything that I learned, everything I was taught, went out the window. But you know what? I think all things happen for a reason. You know, one thing I learned in life is that you gotta sacrifice a lot, you know, to get what you want. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice even more, you know, to succeed and get to a higher level. So you can't be afraid to sacrifice. You know, I didn't understand that. You know, I didn't understand that the decisions that I was making at the time would affect my family, would affect my kids, would affect the people that was around me, would affect the Atlanta Falcons, would affect each and everybody who put time and effort into helping me develop into what I wanted to be. So I let a lot of people down. So what I tell myself as I sit in the prison cell, how can I make this right? What can I do? Like, I had a lot of time to think about it. I say, you know what? Spread my message. I'm gonna tell kids what they should do, what they shouldn't do. Use me as an example, use my testimony as an example, so they don't make crazy, hasty decisions at the end of the day. Now that I understand the importance of every decision that you have to make, using good judgment, not using poor judgment, making rational decisions, not irrational decisions. How it can affect you. You know, one thing I learned is that, you know, it's easy to do the wrong things in life. If you think about it, it's easy to do the wrong things, it's hard to do the right things. If you're on a diet and if there's a cheeseburger in your face, you know you're not supposed to eat it and you eat it, you're doing the wrong thing. It's hard to walk away from it because you're doing the right thing. You know, so we all get to face challenges in our life. You know, it's all about how you persevere. It's all about if you can be resilient, you know, and if you can step up to the challenge and face your problems and tackle your problems and say, yeah, you know, I did it the wrong way. Dust myself off, and I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna be a difference maker in my community, wherever I can be, in the locker room, within my family. I'm gonna be a difference maker. So that's what I set out to do. But it's hard because I have to face a lot of difficulties in my life. You know, as of right now, you know, dealing with certain issues. I still got a lot of people who support me. You know, a lot of people who still love me and admire me and appreciate what I've done for this. Not only for, you know, the sport of football, but, you know, for my family and what I stand for. You know, the overall integrity of everything that I've put into my life. You know, I just feel like it's important for our kids to understand what's the right things to do, the wrong things. You know, being responsible. You know, being held accountable. You know, understanding what's most important in life. You know, and to the kids out there, it's so important to take into consideration everything that your mom and your dad preach to you. Sometimes you might think they're just talking and blabbing and just saying it just to try to get on your nerves. They not. They not. They saying it for a reason. You know, my mom holds a special place in my heart. You know, I was just on the phone a second ago upstairs talking to her. You know, another dark moment in my life. unexpected. You know, I found out my sister had to have surgery, my oldest sister. You know, she's facing some difficulties within her body, and, you know, she found out that she may not be able to have kids because of the surgery that she's about to have. And she loves kids. She take care of my kids like they're hers. When I come home, if I walk in the house with my kids, they're gonna run to her before they run to me. You know, or vice versa. So that's the type of effect she has. So I know she want to have her own kids, so she had to make a decision today that she really didn't want to have to make. So I'm sitting upstairs a second ago, you know, crying my eyes out, and I'm sitting saying to myself, why am I crying? Anything is possible. Put your faith in God. I think sometimes, you know, we take that for granted. I won't say we take it for granted, but we fail to take into consideration that God has our back. He put us through certain situations. We go through some turmoil. But we find a way to persevere and get through. You know, that's the most important thing. Stick together. Believe in yourself. Believe in God. And things will happen for you. I will conclude with this. Think about what I said. And it goes into the topic of the discussion for tonight. Every decision counts. It's easy to do the wrong things. And it's hard to do the right things. Don't be afraid to sacrifice. Don't be afraid to give up what you have to give up to reach a level of success. You know, as kids in this room, you all have bright futures. The sky's the limit. You control your own destiny. But it all starts with you. It all starts with you believing in yourself, taking into consideration the advice that your mom and your dad give you, and using it correctly. Use that advice correctly, because we have to make every decision count. You look at my situation, I didn't make every decision count, and it cost me. So now I'm on the playing field trying to get back to where I want to be. Now I got a vision of how I want to have a certain type of effect in people's lives, and how I want to be proactive in the community, be the best citizen and ambassador that I can be to my teammates, to the people in my community, to the people all across the world. So that's what I'm working for. So we all have something that we have to work for right now. Each and every day, everybody in this room. You know it's something that you want to be better at. So put in the time, put in the effort, and remember at the end of the day, every decision that you make only affects you. Whether it's the right decision or the wrong decision. Make every decision count. Thank you.
The people who purchased the autographs will be doing it in the following room. For everyone else, we appreciate your support so much. Thank you. Good evening.